everyone. I hope you are all doing well. I wanted to touch base to recap our creativity how-to guide assignment that we completed last week and give you some important information about what's coming for the remainder of our course. So please make sure you pay close attention. I did move some due dates around, but everything is for your benefit. I just want to be very clear about what the expectations are from this point forward. So, last week we wrapped up our module on creativity. My big takeaway for you guys in terms of creativity is it can be taught and it should be taught. So, a lot of students have a very fixed mindset in terms of their creativity, mainly because they have some form of bias, typically an art bias, and they're quick to say they're not creative. And as educators, we need to help them combat that fixed mindset. And one of the best ways we can do that is first to teach them what creativity actually means. So, pointing them back to that standard definition of original and useful, pointing them back to the 4 P's. So, thinking about creative personality, creative process, creative press or environment, and creative product. And most importantly, providing a lot of scaffolding and modeling of creative thinking. So, oftentimes, what I've seen in the field is that educators use creative challenges as a filler. They use creativity as something extra and they use it if they have the time. What happens because of that is students begin to associate creativity with fluff. They think, oh, I don't actually need this, particularly as students grow older. When we do kind of classic creative thinking challenges, such as like a simple divergent thinking task of naming multiple uses for an object, these students are very likely to kind of roll their eyes and say, this is not important or this isn't related to the real world. So if we are modeling that creativity is extra, then our students will believe the same thing. So as educators, we need to be careful to really model what is creative thinking and how can we apply creative thinking strategies to our everyday life. This means if you're teaching science, you are highlighting very unique creative innovations. You are looking at creative interpretations of scientific processes. You are looking at the creativity of writers, poetry versus fiction versus nonfiction in the English classroom. You're looking at creativity and how language was even created and how different cultures have different words because those words depend on the cultural context. Creativity is literally everywhere we look. But what we need to do as educators is help our students see that creativity when it doesn't look creative. So creativity does not just mean a lot of colors and something that looks fun. Creativity really needs to be founded in those creative thinking skills of fluency, lots of ideas, originality, lots of new ideas, elaboration, lots of details, resistance to closure, being open to our experiences, and also that divergent thinking as well as convergent thinking. So hopefully this module has helped you understand that creativity is more complex than you may have known, but more importantly, my big takeaway, teach students what creativity is and provide scaffolding so they can really engage in the creative thinking process. Scaffolding really was the purpose of your creativity how-to guide. I was happy to see we had quite a diverse group of strategies ranging from our 6 thinking hats to morphological matrix, spinning the yarn, the encounter strategy. I think one of the biggest strengths that I saw was your ability to describe how these different thinking tools and teaching tools could be adapted to various different classrooms. So for example, I love the suggestion that the thinking hat strategy could also be used as a way to approach social issues. I love the thought that Melissa gave in her discussion that using tools of what's stopping us and scaffolding that divergent then convergent thinking can even help students as they select a topic for further investigation, such as a research assignment. Akivia, you had a great example of a morphological matrix. Really can see how you thought through putting that into the classroom. I love the fact that we saw the 6 thinking hats in 2 different presentations, and you all did a good job of presenting various ways that we can use those strategies. So this is one of my favorite topics because I think that these creative thinking strategies are so practical. So hopefully you guys were able to look at everyone's work and be able to download a few of those how-to guides so you can use them in your own classroom. One important note is that creativity strategies are helpful to all students. So yes, this is important in terms of gifted education, and we should be providing scaffolding to that really higher order thinking for our gifted students, but also this is super important for all other students in the classroom. And that is really the beauty of gifted ed, is that appropriate strategies for teaching and differentiating benefit all students and not just our gifted students. With that said, I'd like to progress to just explain what I'm looking for our final learning module. So this module is definitely different. This module requires you to do some independent research on a topic of your choice. The reason I have this final module is back when I first started teaching this class, in my course evals, I kept seeing, oh, I wish we talked more about this, and I wish we talked more about creativity, but I wish we talked more about twice exceptionality, or I wish we talked more about acceleration or special schools. What I was doing was keeping like a long list of what else students wanted, and then I tried to think of how to make everyone happy, and quickly I realized that was just not possible. So what I came to was, let's create a pretty open-ended final learning module in which the student can really investigate a topic of their choice and then share their findings with their classmates. So that is kind of where this came from. I think an important tool as an educator is to be open and transparent with your students about why you assign certain projects or certain assignments and help them see like the overall purpose here. So really, this was designed based on student input of wanting more of specific topics, but as one person, I just couldn't do it, as also our limited time. So first off, make sure that you pay close attention to the due dates for this last learning module. Some of them I've changed mainly to give you more time for a few things, and all of that is explained on our Blackboard page, but I also like to just verbally present because I know that face-to-face is really important as well. So first things first, and several of you I know are already working toward this, you need to select a topic. That is your first order of business, and actually your only true assignment you have to turn in this week. So by Wednesday, that is this Wednesday, November 20th, I want you to post your topic to the discussion board. I think I labeled it special topic selection. All you need to do is say, I want to research twice exceptionality. I want to research English language learners who are gifted. I want to research creativity in more of a deep manner, or I want to research underrepresentation. So really all you need to do is give me the topic. So there is no limit to how many students can research each topic, and that is because I really want you guys to do something that interests you. So by November 20th, and that is this coming Wednesday, please post on that discussion board and simply tell me what you are planning to research for this final project. The reason I want that soon is so that I can know what you're working toward, and also I can encourage you to start doing research, because some of you may request a couple of resources from me. I have several books in my office I'd be happy to lend out. So just knowing your topic sooner rather than later is really helpful in terms of being the professor of this course. So November 20th, I'm looking for your topic. Now, your presentation is due on December 2nd. So that gives you a pretty large chunk of time. I did decide to give you the Thanksgiving break. That does not mean I'm telling you to do this over the break, but I do realize this is a busy time of year. So I wanted to make sure that you had the time if it was needed. You really need to look over the rubric for this assignment. This final project is worth 20 points, which is twice as many points as all of your other assignments. So I'm really looking for you to go deep into this project. This year, I am asking that my students include a voiceover to their presentation. So you can take this in a couple of ways. Maybe you are creating a PowerPoint presentation, then you can include audio with that PowerPoint, kind of like when you watch the orientation video in the beginning of this class. You can also just do a simple screencast and record yourself flipping through the slides, as well as other forms of presentation. You're welcome to do like a Prezi. I've had students do work through Canva or Pictograph. Really, this is up to you. But what I don't want is for you to just flip through the slides and read and say, my name is so-and-so, I did my project on twice exceptionality. Twice exceptionality is defined as X. The point of me having you include a voiceover is so that you can really teach the topic and the content to your classmates. Unfortunately, since this is a fully online class, we don't have much opportunity to interact with each other. So I do want you to put some effort toward this voiceover so that you can not only present the information in your materials, but also give some examples and demonstrate that you really have knowledge that you have gleaned throughout this course. If you are not familiar with how to create a voiceover, please let me know and I can direct you toward various resources. But again, it's up to you how you do that, but it is required to include some form of audio with your presentation. So if you make sure to look over the rubric, you'll see that you have various categories within this presentation. I'm not going to read them all to you. I think the rubric is pretty self-explanatory. Again, the main thing is that you're choosing a topic that you are very personally interested in. You're presenting that topic to us and then delving into some research, providing examples of top names in that topic, giving us some practical ways that we can apply the topic to our own classroom. You're also required to present some further resources for your students. So usually what I say, the best way to describe this project is to think of building a tiny learning module. So within each of our learning modules, I have a welcome video and I have various presentations, various articles, various videos. What you're doing is kind of a mini version of that. So you'll have one presentation that includes a voiceover. Again, review your rubric on all of the different content that you need to hit there. And then you will also provide links to various resources. So it really is an opportunity for you to choose a topic that you are most interested in and consider how you can apply that topic to your future classroom or your current classroom. If you have any difficulty in choosing a topic, you need to let me know soon. That's why I'm having you select by November 20th so that I can make sure I can help you guys as we progress towards creating these projects. So a couple of due dates here. November 20th, that's this Wednesday. Just simply tell me what your topic will be. Your presentation itself is due December 2nd, so that does give you Thanksgiving break. And then by December 8th, you need to have reviewed and responded to at least 2 of your classmates' presentations. Really take advantage of the hard work that your classmates have done and investigate this. Be looking at your comments, making sure that they are informed. It's not just, great job, tell me why this presentation had an impact on you. Lastly, you have a final discussion board post, and that will be due December 8th as well. That post is pretty simple. It doesn't require you to cite any resources. It's more of an ability for me to get some important feedback from you guys. So here's our last learning module. Again, it's pretty open. I want you guys to take it seriously, and I really want you to investigate something that you're interested in. Hopefully, extending some of these dates will be helpful so that you can really put some time and effort into the project. And again, if you have any questions or you need some direction, I'd be happy to provide a couple of different research articles or just simply names that would get you started in the research process. All right, guys, I hope you have a great week. I know it's a busy time of year, so one thing at a time. You know where my office is, and I'd be glad to help. Thank you.